Hi, it's Dawn. Welcome back. I'm going to work in my handmade art journal, watercolor journal, I guess. It's 9 by 12. I made it myself years ago, and I've been striving to fill it up with various things, swatching and doodling and playing around with colors and so forth. And I absolutely love messing around. And today I have all these blues, these gorgeous blues and a little bit of greens on here. And I'm gonna probably add a couple more greens to it, but that I'm going to just gonna do a little meditative watercolor session in here by painting boxes, painting squares, painting shapes, not circles. They'll be boxy in shape, but I'm using my Neptune number 10 Escoda. Sorry, I said Neptune. My bad. Escoda 10 Versatile. It's a synthetic squirrel. And all my plan is today is just to, and I might switch to a different size brush. But the goal is to make a page full of rectangles and just play in these beautiful pigments because they make me happy. Pigments like these are absolutely calm, I guess, the sea, the ocean, tranquility. And I enjoy putting this paint to paper. And because I pull better than I push, and in my watercolor practice I've learned to get crisp lines, to get crisp edges of any kind without tape. So obviously the tape is going to give me the crisp edge there. But in order to get crisp edges everywhere else, I have to use the brush and the tip of the brush and pull. And that is the best way that I can get the shapes that I want. And they don't have to be perfect. But I do want, and I may do some that are rounded, but for the moment I'm just going to start off like this. I love starting my day with a little meditative mindfulness. I'm going to have to figure something out though, because rotating this book all the time is going to be a little irritating. I did spray my plate with a little continuous sprayer just to kind of activate everything slightly and get everything kind of moving, because it's all obviously dried on. Maybe I'll check out a rounded corner this way. So I don't have to rotate the book as much. I like it when I don't have to rotate the book, because then it's more meditative. Keep using that word. The colors on this plate are unknown, as I didn't label it. Pretty sure we can pick out some obvious colors though. Let's just take a quick tour. Got a little what I believe to be cerulean here, based on the binder looseness of the toothpick tells me I had to mix this up. I'm pretty sure that's ultramarine. I'm not sure if that one is. I'm fairly sure this is Prussian blue. This looks like indigo. I'm not sure what that one is. I think this is phthalo turquoise over here. And yeah, this could be cobalt turquoise, but I'm not sure. And then obviously the plate's just a hodgepodge of all of it. I may add some green, some more true greens in there. In fact, I'm glad I said that because I do have a tray over here I'm trying to clean up. This little plastic wonder keeps hanging on forever, and I would like to clean that up today. So maybe what I'll do is activate some of these greens. So I could make use of those because I love blue and green together. It's just magical. It's like some of this is like all dried out. We'll have to reconstitute a little. It's good to use this though. It's good to use up your paints and have a little fun in the process. Now this is super gooey, super wet. I'm not using any tape, as you can see. I'm not using any line work, pre-drawn lines or what have you. I'm just strictly eyeballing it. And my tape is obviously washi that I'm just trying to use up and get out of my stash. I've got the Good Artist tape sitting over here to the side, but that stuff is expensive, as you know, and this is just a little sketchbook, and so we're going to use the washi today. Some of these might be more washes than color because there's just not much pigment left, and I put a lot of water in there, but oh well. I was initially thinking about doing long, skinny boxes, but I've decided against it this time, but I may do that next time. Where it's just a ton of long, skinny boxes. This one I'm going to just kind of go back and forth, horizontal and vertical. And, excuse me, coffee break. And intersperse those with, I think this color down here, intersperse those within each other. So I'll go probably like horizontal on this one and then maybe vertical on this one. I think this color might be Sleeping Beauty. Just don't know. It's got a lot of shimmer to this, so maybe not. Let's see, where do we want to go? Feels like Sleeping Beauty. And because I'm not turning my book, it's not going to be, these are not going to be crisp lines, and that's, I just decided against it. I was started off that way, and I'm like, nope, never mind. Never mind. Bring it down a little bit further now that I'm not going to rotate the book around so much. There we go. Sorry about the movement. Try to minimize that. Definitely indigo right there. And look how some of those pigments have like didn't break up when I was mixing it over here. Oh well, I just added indigo to them. Might make an interesting little blend. That pigment right there is bothering me. A little piece of schmutz or whatever it is. Could be pigment, could be dust, honestly. The weather's been so nice. I've had the windows open, so sometimes it creates a little dusty atmosphere in the house. I probably should cover up my paints, but I don't. I've got some schmutz on the end of this brush right now. Let me have to dab it. Yeah, I'm going to have to go clean this brush. The schmutz is going to drive me crazy. Some of these are drying really dark, which is fine. But I'm debating if I want some lighter color ones. I think I do. I definitely have schmutz in my paint, but we're going to live with it. I have no preconceived idea what shape I'm drawing until I get my paint on the brush. Sorry, on the paper. Get my brush on the paper and I just start filling it in, and it's kind of an organic decision. Real-time decision. My OCD self wants to make these lines crisp. I'm trying to tell myself it's okay not to be crisp. In fact, I'm kind of drawn to doing one that isn't crisp, but yet here I am still trying to make them crisp. Well, I can't fight nature, right? Except it's good to step outside your comfort zone, which is what I'm trying to do. I sometimes like a smaller brush, but it doesn't hold a lot of pigment or water, which is why then I go back to this Escoda 10, because to me it has the nice balance of holds just enough but not too much for my liking. Okay, that's a little too ultramarine for me. We need to add a little something else to it and mute it a bit. There we go. I'm going to definitely do this again, and next time my goal is going to be to have wonky lines and then just follow them. See how I'm trying to leave the spacing the same between all the shapes? That's kind of what I'm thinking. Just kind of go after it that way. And I am not liking that Sleeping Beauty or whatever that... I mean, it's fine, but it's... I remember at the time I heard another artist talk about this color, and I had to go order it right away. I was like, oh, is this going to be the next coming of bread? And it wasn't to me. And every time I use it, I'm reminded of how much it's just okay. It's not my favorite. It just lacks depth. It's just, to me, it's just really flat. And there's other people that I'm sure love it, and they think it is just the most beautiful color. And it is a beautiful color, but it just doesn't scream, pick me first out of my palette. And I thought it was going to be my next favorite turquoise. Nope, turns out it wasn't. But your mileage may vary. I'm trying to leave the same width of white between all these shapes. It's kind of my focus now, not so much worrying about, hoping that'll help me release the concept of crisp lines on these shapes, although I doubt it. I'm still going to be a weirdo when it comes to that, I suspect, but all right, let's grab some of that said Sleeping Beauty, and then let's mix it with a funky green over here. Yeah, but where to put it? All right, let's put it down here. So part of why I enjoy doing these is, one, muscle memory, practice, but two is, well, two, I get some fun patterns that I can use for other things because I scan them and then print them out on various weighted paper, copy paper, cardstock, whatever, and use them for backgrounds of my, so I'm making my own papers for collage and what have you. But then number three, sometimes you find a really fun mixture of colors that you would never try because you're working on something precious. And so that was a blend of Sleeping Beauty, and then I picked up some sap green, and then I picked up a dark green that was like a mix, like a mother green. And look at that. That is absolutely beautiful. I'll never be able to make that color again, but I have it now. So I'm gonna try it again, actually. Sleeping Beauty, little sap green, and this little mother, green mother. I'm gonna come down here and see if I can do it again. I think I did. The question is the mother. I can do Sleeping Beauty and sap green, but I could probably use like a neutral tint if I wanted to make it again. Right? Nope, there's a little schmutz. Go away. See, now I can satisfy my OCD by making that crisp. You see? Where I just rounded that off a little bit. And I make the white uniform between all the shapes. That will satisfy my OCD, where I don't have to make every edge crisp. I can just make the white crisp. Find ways to hack your brain, people. And when I say I grab Sleeping Beauty, I just double load. I just grab a little color. Let's try another color. See if we can double load and get some more interesting pigmentation. All right, let's grab a little phthalo turquoise, just a little, because it's awful bright. Let's grab a little, and let's grab a little ultramarine, and then a little bit of yellowish green over here. It's a really bright chartreusey green. Now I've got three colors located on that brush. I'm not sure if you can see the pigment sitting. Okay, can we focus? I don't know, but there's a little bit of all three pigments right here on the end of this brush, and it's going to be just, you get what you get. And we're going to focus on the white. Oh wow, look at that. That is very bright. We're going to keep that. We're going to actually water that down a little bit with something. What do we want to water it down with? Take that neutral green, that mother green? I think so. I'm going to add a little of that mother in and kind of, I don't dislike it. I just don't want the whole thing to be like a neon sign where that's where your eye goes first. That's what I'm trying to avoid. I think I have my neon sign anyway. Oh well. Grab some water. See if I can just mute this out just a little. That's why it's good to have a mother or a neutral that you can In fact, speaking of, I've got a little bit left in this dish here from another project. This was green and gray mixed. So I'm going to put this over here. I'm going to grab some of this neutral when I need it, like now. Mute this out. This is just, I don't want my eye to go here first, you know? Or anybody's eye. Oh, I just messed up the white. Dang. Oh well. It'll be fine. Moving myself a little so I can kind of come at this a different way. And if drawing freehand like this is not comfortable for you, I have a bunch of videos that I have posted where I take a stencil like this. This is just sitting off to the side. And I draw it with a pencil, and then I come back and color it in, for lack of a better term. You can get patterns that way in your sketchbook or on an art piece or something you can scan and use later in different colors. Watercolors offer such diversity in this way. More so than acrylics, I think, but I'm sure acrylic proponent, and I like acrylic. I use acrylic, so don't take me wrong. I'm not anti-acrylic. I have a year's salary worth of golden fluid acrylic sitting behind me just now, or something like that. But I love the immediacy that watercolor gives me if I want to not go over it, but just glaze over it. Or it's just, there's something about watercolor that you can't do with acrylic, to me. It's a luminous and a depth that just happens almost immediately without much work. I'm sure you can get that same depth with acrylic. Obviously you can, and I know oils too, but I just enjoy the ease that watercolor provides that. I think I'm gonna go all the way to the edge with this guy. Got enough pigment here, even though this paper is, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, this is Strathmore 400 series paper that I made this book with. I buy it in the big piece like this, the size of this page, 18 by 24, I think. No, that's not right. And I fold it in half, make my signatures. Not 18, 12 by 8, 18 by 20. I don't know. I'll have to go. I need more coffee for this. Hold on. 12 by 18. Ugh. This is a 300 series, 12 by 18. And then no, this is the 400 series. Where is my brain this morning? And then I just fold it in half and then bind it. It is the easiest sketchbook ever. You can bind it with staples. I sew it. I did a Coptic binding. Ooh, it sounds fancy. It's just a term. You can glue it. You can, at the ends, all kinds of things. But that's what I like. I like making my own sketchbooks. And I like big sketchbooks like this. A lot of people don't. A lot of people prefer smaller books. And I like small books too, especially when I travel. Small books are nice. All right. Focus on the white. Okay, I'm going to turn this slightly. I just want to get a little bit more. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . I'm mowing the grass or something. Oops, touched it. See? Got a little flippant. Got a little cavalier in my movements. And it's good to take breaks too, to let pigments dry, or the previous blocks dry, so that if you happen to touch them, they don't go crazy and bleed on you. But not necessary unless you just want to. But I like to. I like to go get a drink of water, and my watch tells me to get up and move. I try to do as I'm told some days. Then I'll put a little chiclet piece in here, a little tile. The reason I mentioned the paper is because it does soak in pretty quickly, so you get sometimes these lines here where I go back and tickle it a little too much, but I don't care. I'm here to have fun. I'm not here to make a masterpiece. If a masterpiece happens, great. But I just have fun. It's kind of my warm-up for the day. Sometimes that's all I do all day. I only do this. But I think that's important too. I tend to slant left apparently. So I'm looking at this. Everything's kind of going this way, but that's all right. What I'm doing is I'm grabbing a little mother or a little neutral tint or whatever before I pick up some of these other darker, brighter colors, more vivid colors, just to help mute it a little bit so that it's a more cohesive tile work. Okay, that's not dark enough. Don't forget to vary the size of your shapes. Don't make them all the same width and the same. I think it makes it interesting when you, which is I just screwed that up, when you put some skinny ones in here or some short ones like that. And then also try not to end at the same spot the other ones are ended. So go a little bit past like this. It helps the eye move around the page. Why? I don't know, but it just does. Yeah. It readjusted the piece so that more of it's in camera, but man, I really am slanting to the left, but okay. We're just gonna roll with it. Which is a support for then the use of grid lines. But I'm going to try this instead, see if I can correct my slant by drawing this line first and then kind of filling in the blanks. Maybe that'll work. Well, maybe not. It still looks a little slanted. Listen, I'm just a slanted person. What can I tell you? I'm a little dry today, so my paint's drying up. Very dry air. That's a little cerulean with some whatever green. I have no idea. Let's grab some Prussian, maybe with this sap green, and see what we get. Oh, what do you know? More turquoise. Uh-oh. Party foul. Party foul. I like that color. I like that color a lot, actually. Okay. Let's go back to our greens. This palette will never end. Got a lot of pigment on this brush, so I keep expanding my shape. Okay, it's driving me a little crazy. I'm gonna fix it. Here we go. I can see it better from this angle. I can see the asymmetry of the shape from this angle, but yeah, I just don't like flipping it around so much, but maybe that's what I gotta do. Oh, that's a fun shape. I like that. It kind of broke up the monotony of the other shapes, didn't it? It did. Okay. Let's go back this way. And go this way. We'll leave a little skinny piece to go down there, I think. I like getting it really close to that edge. I'm not always very good at it, but I like it when it works. Oh yeah, I love that color. I'm not even sure what I dipped it into. I double loaded it, obviously, and it turned out pretty good. It was a little bit of a, I don't know, I think that was a little bit of sap green and then a little bit of Prussian blue, I think, but couldn't swear to it. Alright, let's do maybe a little bit of indigo for that little skinny piece, and whatever this is next to indigo. It might be Indian Throne, but I don't know. I don't remember having Indian Throne in watercolor. I know I have it in I know I have it in acrylic. Just grab a little bit of green just to kind of variegate the color within the block. Let's go past. The decision is to stop short or go past, you know. Let's go past. There. Yeah. Yep. Alright, let's grab some of this color over here, which looks like ultramarine next to ultramarine, but I know it seems unlikely there'd be two ultramarines next to each other on my plate, but you never know. Ooh, it's got coopage. I don't know if that's a pigment particle that needs mixing or if that's something else. Dust, lint. Yeah, I'm enjoying practicing this kind of precision white detail, which isn't exactly precision for me, but I'm enjoying the exercise of trying to make that white the same, that white space. These tiles are turning out really nice. I think that's dust. Off with you. Ooh, I was totally off camera on that, wasn't I? I sure was. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll move this. Okay. These are all kind of looking samey. I think I may need to glaze one of these. Because these are just, it's boring when they're all the same. Since I just did this one, let's glaze it with some cerulean. Yeah. Not really glazing if it's dry or wet on wet, right? It's more like charging, but whatever. Okay. That's looking fun. I'm loving my tiles or abstract shapes. I'm still working on the hand placement for doing this, but here we are. I guess I'm pivoting. I don't like it, but it seems like that's the best way for me to do this. See if I can do a really skinny one right here. Oop, not so much for really skinny. Somewhat skinny, I guess is going to have to be the term. I'm not great at pulling, or pushing rather. I'm much better at pulling. see what we can do here. Heck, I just violated my white space. Oh, I did it again. Dang. I rush myself sometimes. I bet I'm the only one who ever does that.
Can I ask you what these are?
Okay. You know what? Let's be a little more creative. Let's go around the bend. Let's not be so square or so plot lines. In fact, let's go down a little bit too. Just making it up as we go. I'm swirling because, you know, that's an official watercolor technique, is to swirl your brush like that. Make it up as you go. Have fun. Who cares? What are rules? Rules are to be broken. Rules are to be challenged. Not broken for breaking's sake, but to be challenged. Like, does it make sense? Oh, a little more blue than that. Maybe I'll grab a little indigo. That indigo didn't show up at all. Let's try it again. And the reason why this works is because I'm using colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. Most people know that, but I mean, most people that have been playing with colors know that, but in case there's some new people here that don't know that, if you use colors that are next to each other, it will work. And then if you mix them together and make like a unifying color, that also makes it full. It's a foolproof way of making sure that whatever you're playing around with is going to look like it's supposed to look like that. Not a foolproof. It's not a foolproof way of making sure you like the outcome. I can't promise you that, but the colors will be in the same conversation because they're from the same family. But if your family's like mine, that's no guarantee they're getting along. Ha ha ha, just kidding. My family gets along great. Okay, like that. Let's go back towards the green a bit. I have the two palettes stacked on top of each other, which is why when I'm swirling it's making a bit of noise, but we're just going to live with it. Because I'm trying to leave room to keep the camera as close as possible and yet still be able to move this big old book around if I need to. She's a beast, but I love her. My next journal, I'm going to make a soft cover, a fabric cover. In fact, something I was thinking about working on today. Never done that before. But I'm going to do a kind of a crazy quilt style cover. And I don't know if I'm going to keep it the same size, this size or not. I've got two that are ready to go. Two books. The signatures are ready to go. I just have to decide the cover. But, ooh, that green's nice. All right, let's mix a green and a blue. Actually, we're going to grab a little mother. This blend of a bunch of colors. A little bit of green. And then we'll grab a little indigo. And we're going to go over here and see what we get. So let's go down. Since we've kind of gone sideways here. Oops, I'm glad I looked. Since we've kind of gone horizontal here, these last two, let's go vertical on this one. So I grabbed a little bit of whatever green's left in that bottom of that well, and then I grabbed a little mother, and then I grabbed a little indigo, and that is, look at that color. That is beautiful. I wonder how it'll dry. That is absolutely, it's hard to tell on the camera. I don't know if the camera's picking it up very well or not. But it's a neat blend of greens and blues, and it's granulating slightly, so it's kind of cool. All right. Moving on, let's go into, let's try a little cerulean. I'm going to grab a little bit of green, just a little bit of mother, and then a little cerulean. Oops, I need more water. That cerulean is dry. Okay, maybe a little more mother too. Let's spray the mother. In case you fast forwarded at one point, this is the mother. It's old mother from another project that was left in a dish, and I'm just using it up. But I just grabbed a little bit of cerulean and a little bit of mother and a little bit of green. I just violated my white. Oh. I'm going to go vertical on this one too, but not as far down, not as deep. Oh, that's a pretty color. I like it. All right, let's try a little Sleeping Beauty, which is this pale color up here. It's pale turquoise. Then maybe a little Prussian and a little mother. Let's go over here and do, oh goodness. Boy, that Prussian not joking around, is it? Screwed up that margin too. I find I have to take breaks in order to maintain my focus on the margins, because if I keep going straight through, there's a little bit of impatience that happens for me. But if I step away for a minute, go get a drink of water, my my patience returns. Okay, that's dry. It's dark, but you know, you never know how it's going to dry down. And I'm not rinsing my brush. I'm just leaving the whatever's on it, and then I'm going to grab maybe some sludge here in the middle. Who knows what these colors are? It's just rando colors. Now I'm going to go. So this one was horizontal, but I don't want to do a. I'm just going to do a tile. Square ish, square-ish. When in doubt, add a tile. Try to practice your lines. I know my OCD keeps coming back, right? We're going to add a second tile right here. Not the same. Not twins, cousins. See, in this little exercise, this little mindfulness, you can do this with the student grade palette of colors. Pull them out, your Crayolas, and a brush, and a piece of watercolor paper. You do not need any other tools than that to do this. Okay, let's go back over here. My Instapot is talking to me. I'm going to have to go check that, but you'll never feel it. Really instantaneous. Instantaneous. See what I did there? Keep hearing a beep, which probably means it's got a problem. That's a pretty color. Very pretty color. I don't know that I'll ever get tired of colors that remind me of the sea. Don't want to live by it, mind you. A great deal of respect for what the ocean and the water can do. But I do admire its beauty and its power. My shapes are getting all kinds of crazy now. Crazy is good. Crazy means what if. We like what if. I just grabbed a little neutral. I like it, but I just want to keep it from overtaking the page. Being that neon sign again, like I talked about before. Painted myself into a corner over here, quite literally. Ooh, let's make this one super weird. Oh yeah, that's a fun shape, right? Right. Grab some water and grab this little pale green over here. I got like a really yellowy green over here at the edge of this palette. Oof. Neutralize that just a little. It's like watercolor Tetris. Loving these colors. That's a pretty color combo. It's a little bit of green and then a little bit of cerulean and ultramarine, and then some neutral tint, mother, whatever. That's a very pretty color. Might be my favorite. Take a little phthalo turquoise, a little neutral, and then a touch of green. Let's go over here. Nope, I think I want a little more phthalo than that. Okay. Let's grab a little green. This is cobalt sitting up here, I don't know. Trying to just keep my colors kind of flowing in from blue to green to turquoise, back to blue again. Just to keep it interesting. And that is very interesting, that color. Yeah, we like that. See this color up here, I'm going to see if I can try to repeat it down here a little bit. don't try to create colors that need obvious repetition, but when you kind of look it over, you go, I vaguely remember what colors I used to get that one, so I'm gonna take advantage and sneak in just a little whisper of that color right there. Just keep it balanced. It's not necessary, but I just like to. Still quite a bit left in that brush. Even though I picked up some other colors, that's alright, we'll leave it small. It's good to vary the size. Giving that tip a workout. Where do I want to go next? I guess here. Ooh, that's the same dang color. How did I manage that? Because I like it. Grab some of that. Oh, that's a fun shape. I like that. Oh, yeah. I think that's fun to throw those wacko shapes in there once in a while. Now I got to figure this shape out. But just follow the lines, right? Yeah. Follow the lines. Follow the bouncing dot. It's nice having a little neutral tint or a mother off to the side in case you've got some really bright colors that you're trying to kind of keep control over. I grabbed a little bit of ultramarine here and some neutral tint, and that creates a fantastic color. Because the gray or the black or whatever is in that neutral tint really neutralizes that ultramarine. Ugh. Ran over my white. Dang. Alright, well. And this is like a forest green over here. This is like a mixture of greens in this one reservoir that I'm trying to use up. Let's see. What about here? Oh yeah, it's a nice color next to these other ones. Oh yeah, very nice. Alright, let's go grab another blue because it's got a lot of green going on right here. So let's grab some cerulean with whatever green's left on my brush. I just feel like I keep making the same turquoise over and over again, even though I'm picking up different blue pigments with different green pigments in my brush. I just grabbed a little neutral tint. Alright, I guess we really have to fill in the... Wow, I'm getting sloppy. Time to take a break. That was super sloppy, the whole thing. Goodness me. To reconsider my priorities. All right, one more green, I think. Yeah, coming along. Trying to see what greens I've got tucked up under here. Ooh. Oh, I think it's dried out because it's hiding. Let's see. Over here got a little dry too. Just give everything a little squirty squirt. Ooh, that's a color we really haven't found before. That is super green. It's like grass green. Well, maybe we have had a few of those now that I look around. I had a little phthalo or whatever that is there. Rearrange a little bit. Ugh. Put the water over here. So I can push this up. There we go. That's more better. That looks kind of similar, doesn't it? Let's see if we can charge up a little bit of cerulean. Let's see what happens when we do that. Okay. Ooh. Let's grab a little indigo. Let's grab a little more indigo in general. Ooh, a lot of cerulean in that. Obviously. Let's do some tiles. No, let's not. Let's just finish off this little section here. Oh yeah, very nice. Okie dokie. Grab a little bit of Prussian blue and then a little bit of cerulean and then a little bit of ultramarine, and then I'm gonna grab like a neutral, just kind of get a nice blue, pale, like a muted blue. There we go, like a blue gray. And will I remember these combos later? No, probably not. But am I having fun right now? Oh yeah, heck yeah. And will I know that I just grabbed some greens and blues and kind of went at it? Yeah, pretty much. That's the part. When I look at this page, that's what I'll see. Is I grabbed greens and blues and then just kind of went for it, you know? And it's pretty obvious that's what's here. And I won't need to know exact combinations. I'll just remember that when you put greens and blues together, you get really beautiful results. At least I think they are. But then again, I'm a big fan of colors like this, so that's easy for me to say. You may like oranges and pinks and yellows. And to that, I say, do it. Get out your paper, get out your paints, get out your brush. Just play. Okay, that was a little too much neutral. Wow. Okay, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Gonna rinse off my brush and I'm gonna try to pick some of this up. That looks like black. Goodness. We can fix it. Just goodness how intense it is, you know? It's not the Mona Lisa. It's not Sistine Chapel. It's just paint. Let's grab a nice darker color. We'll go over it. It'll be fine. Oopsie. I messed up my white. Oh well. Okay. We fixed it. All's well that ends well. Last couple. I still have lots of pigment in here, but we just aren't going to be worried about it. What was that thing doing? I don't even know. Don't care. Okay. Okay, maybe two more. Yeah. Got too close on that one. I didn't touch it, but came close to it. Alright, last square. I think I gotta go do cerulean and what, little indigo maybe? Have to find out if we like that combo, and a little neutral as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we do. Heck yeah, we do. I'm gonna start jotting some of these formulas down. I know what I said a minute ago about it not mattering, but man, maybe jotting some of these down would not be a bad idea. Just in case. I'm gonna do that again in the future. Alright, let me get rid of the palette. I'm gonna raise this camera up just slightly. And let's go ahead and pull the tape. Get rid of this fun little washi tape. Yeah, tore it thing. Washi tape doesn't usually tear. This is still wet, but I think we're okay to pull it. Alright, let's try it from this side and end it at a 45 degree. Hopefully that'll get us a better result. It did. And our last little sun, moon, and stars can go bye-bye. Okay. Well, we finished another page, and I love it. And I thank you for stopping by again. And we'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.